Could a regular Kennedy half-dollar in your pocket be worth thousands or even millions? Many people walk right past valuable coins without knowing it, but today we're uncovering the top 10 Kennedy half-dollars that could make you rich. These rare varieties, hidden mint errors, and almost impossible to find versions are turning everyday pocket change into real treasure. In this video, we'll show you exactly what details to look for, how to spot the rare mistakes, and what makes certain halves so valuable. Don't miss this. Your next big find could be hiding right in your hands. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar is an interesting coin because it was the very first year the United States Mint stopped putting any silver in regular half-dollars. Before 1971, some half-dollars still had a small amount of silver, but starting this year they became fully copper-nickel clad. This means that even though the coin looks shiny like silver, it has no real silver content inside. The Mint made a very large number of these coins in 1971. Over 273 million pieces, which means most 1971 half-dollars today are very common. Because so many were made, the face value is still 50 cents, and most circulated ones are worth only that amount. However, many collectors still like this coin because it marks the beginning of a new era for the Kennedy half-dollar series, and because some coins in very high grades or with special mint errors can be worth more than people expect. Even though this coin has no silver, it still has collector interest because people enjoy building full sets, and 1971 is always included. A normal 1971 Kennedy half-dollar found in pocket change or a coin jar will not be worth much. These coins usually have scratches, wear, and dullness from years of use. These circulated examples are worth around 50 cents. But when the coin is bright, clean, and looks like it was never used, it becomes a bit more valuable. Uncirculated examples that grade around MS63 or MS64 often sell for around $10 to $20. Only the sharpest, cleanest coins with very few marks can reach higher values. Some extremely high-grade examples, like MS66 or MS67, are rare because coins from this time period usually left the mint with many small marks from the machines. When a collector finds a 1971 half-dollar in one of these upper grades, it can bring a strong premium at auctions or from grading companies. So even though it is not silver, a perfect quality piece can still be valuable. Another thing that makes some 1971 half-dollars worth money is mint errors. Mint errors happen when something goes wrong during the minting process. Because 1971 was a heavy production year, many dies wore out quickly, which caused things like doubling, die cracks, or weak strikes. Some of the most popular errors include double dies, especially doubling on the lettering or the date. There are also off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing or shifted because the coin did not line up correctly during minting. These types of errors can be worth anywhere from $20 to over $100, depending on how dramatic the mistake is. Another error collectors look for is a coin struck on the wrong planchet. Very rarely, a coin gets made using the wrong metal blank, such as a foreign coin blank. These rare mistakes can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. They are extremely hard to find, but they make searching exciting. Even though the 1971 half-dollar does not have silver, some people become confused because the earlier 1964 Kennedy half-dollar does have 90% silver and contains 0.3617 ounces of silver. That coin has a melt value tied to the price of silver, and it is always worth more than face value. But the 1971 does not fall into that category. Its value comes only from its condition or special errors. So if someone finds a shiny 1971 coin, it is always smart to check for errors or consider grading if the condition looks amazing. The coin itself may not make you rich, but a rare high-grade or error example can definitely be worth much more than 50 cents. Collectors in 2025 still enjoy this date because it marks an important change in the series, and it can still offer a fun surprise for anyone taking the time to look closely. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is getting huge attention because some collectors claim that certain rare ones can be worth big money. While not every 1972 half-dollar is valuable, a few special types and very rare errors can be worth hundreds, thousands, and in extremely rare cases, even life-changing amounts when sold at major auctions. Most people don't know what makes these coins important, so they often sit unnoticed in jars, old collections, or bank rolls. But if you find the right one, you could be holding something very special. The excitement comes from a mix of low survival of high-grade pieces, rare die varieties, and dramatic mint errors that are worth searching for. Even though the 197-D is a common date overall, the valuable ones are extremely hard to find, which is why collectors say retire if you find this coin. The first thing that makes a 1972-D half-dollar valuable is its condition. Millions of these coins were made, but most were heavily used in circulation. They picked up scratches, marks, and wear, which lowers value. A typical circulated 197-D is worth only 50 cents, but an uncirculated one with sharp details and bright surfaces can be worth much more. Collectors look for grades like MS65, MS66, and especially MS67. These high-grade pieces are rare because the minting quality in the early 1970s was not the best, and most coins were not saved. A true MS67 example can sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars because only a very small number survived that clean. These top-grade pieces are extremely desirable for registry sets, which are competitive collections ranked by quality. When collectors compete, prices jump, and this is a major reason some 197-D halves have sold for huge amounts. The second reason the 197-D can be extremely valuable is the presence of rare mint errors. Error coins are mistakes made at the mint, and some are so dramatic that collectors will pay high prices for them. One of the most exciting errors to look for is the off-center strike. A small off-center error might bring a modest premium, but a large off-center strike, where part of Kennedy's head or the date is missing, can be worth hundreds of dollars. Even more dramatic errors, such as coins struck 50% or more off-center, can reach into the thousands. Another valuable error type is the double die, where parts of the design, such as Liberty, the date, or In God We Trust, appear doubled. A strong double die is extremely rare and can bring major money. Collectors also search for clipped plankets, broad strikes, and coins struck on the wrong metal blank. A wrong planchet 197-D is insanely rare, and such a coin could sell for tens of thousands or more because it is a true mint mistake that almost never happens. Another factor adding excitement is the hunt for special FS101 and other die variety listings. These varieties come from dies with small differences that create collectible features. Some of these varieties on the 197-D are very hard to find and can be worth a strong premium when certified. Even minor varieties can bring extra value, especially if the coin is in high grade. The rising popularity of coin videos and roll hunting in 2025 has made the 1970-D one of the hottest coins to search for. People love the idea of finding a valuable treasure hidden in everyday change. Most finds won't make you rich, but the chance of spotting a rare error or super high-grade example keeps the excitement alive. And yes, while it is very rare, certain spectacular mint errors or ultra-high-grade pieces have sold for huge sums in auctions. That's why people say you could retire if you find one. Even though most 1970-D half dollars are common, the extremely rare examples are truly special. Anyone searching should check their coins carefully, use a magnifier, and compare details closely. The 2000p Kennedy half dollar is getting a lot of attention in 2025, and many collectors are surprised by how fast interest in these coins is growing. For a long time, half dollars were not used much in everyday spending. Most people only saw them in old jars, coin rolls, or collections passed down from family. But now the hobby is booming again, and the 2000p half dollar is one of the coins people keep talking about. Even though it is not an old coin and does not contain silver, it has become popular for several reasons. One reason is its very low use in circulation. Even though millions were made, most 1000p halves were never spent in stores. They went straight into bags, rolls, and storage. Many stayed untouched for years, which means some kept their original shine and sharp details. Collectors love coins that look brand new, and because these can still be found in great condition, people started hunting rolls and bags hoping to find high-grade pieces. Another reason for the growing interest is that the Kennedy half dollar series itself is becoming more popular. Collectors are looking back at the whole line, from the early 1960s for silver coins to the modern pieces like the 2000p. Younger collectors especially like the idea of finding rare gems inside common dates. This brings new people into the hobby and increases demand for coins from all years. Even though the 2000p is not rare by mintage numbers, finding one in perfect shape can be tough. A coin that was dropped, scratched, or stored loosely loses value. A coin that still looks bright, clean, and sharp can be worth many times more than face value. High-grade examples of the 2000p half-dollar can sell for strong prices when graded by companies like PCGS or NGC. Some of the highest grades, such as MS67, MS68, and above, can bring impressive amounts because only a small number of coins survive that clean. Collectors who want the best possible examples compete for these coins, pushing their values up each year. Another thing that adds excitement is the search for errors. Many coin hunters now look closely at all 2000p halves because mint errors from this year can bring extra value. Some coins have small die cracks, off-center strikes, doubled lettering, or strange marks from objects stuck in the press. Errors make a common coin far more interesting and collectible. A dramatic off-center strike or a bold double die can turn a simple 50-cent coin into something worth far more. Because many people are now searching through rolls and bags, more errors are being discovered, which adds energy to the hobby. Collectors also enjoy the connection between the 2000p half-dollar and the larger history of the series. The Kennedy half-dollar started in 1964, right after President John F. Kennedy was killed. The first year was made of 90% silver, and those early coins are still very popular. Over time, the design stayed mostly the same, which gives collectors a long and steady timeline of American history to collect. With interest rising again, collectors compare modern pieces like the 2000p with older silver ones, creating a strong market for almost every date. Another reason the 2000p is exploding in popularity is the rise of social media coin hunting videos. People love watching others open coin rolls and find surprising treasures. When someone finds a high-grade 2000p or a wild mint error, the video often goes viral. Viewers then want to look for their own coins, which increases demand even more. Many new collectors started buying rolls of half-dollars or checking their old coin jars because of these videos. The excitement spreads quickly, and the 2000p is right in the spotlight. Because of all this attention, collectors in 2025 are not just searching for 2000p half-dollars. They are also looking for other modern Kennedy dates that suddenly became popular, such as 1999p, 2001d, and early 2000s low-use circulation coins. Even though these coins have no silver, they still hold collector value in high grades or with special errors. This shift toward modern half-dollars has changed how people collect. It is no longer only about old silver coins. Now the fun is also in hunting affordable modern pieces that might be hiding in everyday coin rolls. The 2000p Kennedy half-dollar is a perfect example of how a simple modern coin can become one of the hottest finds of the year. As more collectors join the hunt, and as more high-grade pieces get discovered and sold, interest in this coin will likely keep rising. For anyone who wants to join the excitement, all it takes is a roll of half-dollars, a good light, and a close look. You never know what treasure you might find. The Kennedy half-dollar has been an American favorite ever since it was introduced in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy. While most dates are common, certain years and certain minting errors can be surprisingly valuable. One year that grabs a lot of attention is 1979, and although most 1979 Kennedy half-dollars are worth only face value, there are a few rare varieties and errors worth more than you might expect. Here's everything you need to know about 1979 Kennedy half-dollar values, what makes them special, and which ones could be worth hundreds of dollars. Basic facts about the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar. The 1979 Kennedy half-dollar was struck in 3 U.S. mints: Philadelphia no mint mark, Denver D mint mark, San Francisco S mint mark, proof coins. By 1979, Kennedy half-dollars were no longer made of silver for circulation. Business strike coins from Philadelphia and Denver are composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. Because millions were minted, most 1979 halves you see in circulation today are worth 50 cents. However, collectors look for high-grade examples or mistake coins that slip through quality control. 1979 Kennedy half-dollar values. 1979 P of Philadelphia. Normal circulated condition, 50. Uncirculated MS63 to $5. High grade MS65 plus, $20 $100 plus. Coins graded MS67 or higher are rare and can reach several $100s at auction. 1979 Deal Denver, circulated, 50. Uncirculated MS63 to $5. High grade MS65 plus, $30 $150 plus. Denver coins are usually better struck, but ultra-high-grade specimens are still scarce. 1979S, San Francisco Proof Coins. San Francisco produced two kinds of proof coins in 1979, Type 1 blob like S mintmark, Type 2, clear S mintmark rare, values. 1979S Proof Type 1, $5 $10, 1979S Proof Type 2 Clear S, $50 to $100 depending on grade. The Type 2 Clear S is the most desirable, 1979 Kennedy half-dollar, for regular collectors, rare errors that can be worth hundreds. Error coins are where 1979 Kennedy half-dollars can become truly valuable. Look for these. 1. Off-center strikes. Value, $50 $300 plus. The more off-center the design, especially over 30%, the more valuable. 2. Double dies DDO, DDR, value, $20 to $100 plus. Check for doubling on the date, lettering, or Kennedy's profile. Clear doubling always boosts value. 3. Clipped plankets. Value, $30 $150 plus. A crescent-shaped bite out of the coin border indicates a mint error. 4. Wrong planchette errors. If a 1979 Kennedy half somehow struck on a foreign or wrong denomination planchette exists, it could be worth hundreds to thousands. These are extremely rare, but always exciting. Could you really retire if you find one? Most 1979 Kennedy half-dollars won't make you rich. But a 1979S Proof Type 2 in perfect grade can be worth a few $100s. A dramatic mint error, especially a wrong planchette strike, could reach for figures at auction. Ultra-high-grade business strikes MS67 or better also bring strong premium prices. While not quite retire now money, the right coin can definitely be a valuable find. Tips for spotting a valuable 1979 half-dollar. Check the mint mark, especially S mint proofs for Type 2 Clear S. Use a magnifier to look for doubling and other errors. Keep uncirculated coins protected in holders or flips. Get rare candidates professionally graded by PCGS or NGC before selling. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is one of the most common and widely collected clad half-dollars from the 1970s, yet it still holds surprising value potential, especially for collectors who understand which varieties and errors to look for. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark, the 1974 half-dollar had an enormous production of 273,300,000 coins, making it one of the highest mintage dates in the entire series. While most circulated examples are worth only face value, certain conditions, varieties, and errors can raise the price significantly. Some pieces can sell for $10 to $20, and rare versions can bring even more composition and specifications. Although earlier Kennedy halves contained silver, 90% in 1964 and 40% from 1965 to 1970, the 1970 for no mint mark half-dollar is not silver. It is a copper nickel-clad coin made of two outer layers of nickel bonded to a pure copper core. The only exception is a small number of wrong planchette errors coins accidentally struck on leftover 40% silver plankets, which can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Here are the correct specs for the standard 1974 halved composition, copper nickel clad. Weight, 11.3 for grams, edge, reeded. Face value, 50 cents, typical value, $10 $20 in high uncirculated grades. Because the coin contains no silver, its melt value is only a few cents, not $7.99. However, collector value is much more important than melt value for this date. Why some 1970 for no mint mark coins are valuable. Even though most examples are common, the 1974 issue offers several collector favorite traits that can increase value. Coins graded MS65 or higher are significantly more desirable. While millions were minted, very few remain in pristine, untouched condition. Sharp luster, clean fields, and strong devices are essential for achieving top value. Exceptional examples graded MS66 or MS67 can sell for well over $100 at auction, making them treasure worth searching for in old rolls or collections. One of the biggest value factors for the 1974 Kennedy half dollar is the double die obverse, seen mainly on the word trust. The letters in Liberty, parts of Kennedy's profile. Strong doubling dramatically increases the price, with nice uncirculated examples ranging from $75 to several $100, depending on grade, silver planchet error. A very small number of 1974 halves were mistakenly struck on leftover 40% silver plankets from 1970. These coins weigh slightly less, around 11.5 grams versus 11.3 for grams, and have a distinctly different silver ring when tapped. Authenticated examples can sell for $1,000 or more, making this error one of the most exciting modern finds. The Kennedy half dollar series is one of the most popular modern U.S. coins, and collectors are always searching for overlooked treasures hiding in pocket change, old jars, and bank rolls. One date that often surprises new collectors is the 1983D Kennedy half dollar. While the average 1983D is extremely common and worth only face value, certain rare features, error types, and high-grade examples can be worth real money. Learning what to look for can turn a simple coin search into an exciting treasure hunt. Below is your guide to identifying valuable 1983D halves, and, more importantly, how to identify any rare Kennedy half dollar. The Denver Mint struck more than 27 million Kennedy half dollars in 1983. Most circulated heavily because half dollars were still widely used during the early 1980s. As a result, most 1983D coins today show noticeable wear. A typical circulated 1983D coin is worth 50 cents. Even a clean uncirculated piece might bring only to $5 unless it is a top-grade example. But while most are common, a small number of superbly preserved coins or those with dramatic mint errors can be genuinely valuable. To find a valuable Kennedy half dollar, especially a modern one like the 1983D, you must focus on three main factors: condition grade, mint errors, special characteristics, or oddities. Let's break these down. Because so many 1983D half dollars circulated heavily, high-grade survivors are rare. Collectors pay strong premiums for the best of the best. If your coin shows dull surfaces, scratches, or worn hair detail on Kennedy's portrait, it has no numismatic premium. Decent uncirculated examples pulled from old rolls or mint sets are worth a fee. These coins show bright luster and only small contact marks. Values increase to around $15, $40. Here's where the money is. Very few 1983D coins survive this nice. Certified MS67 pieces can bring $200 for $100, and coins graded MS68 are extremely scarce. If your 1983D looks flawless, it may be worth grading. Mint errors are the fastest way a common date becomes a valuable collectible. The large size of half dollars makes errors especially dramatic. Part of the design is missing because the coin was struck off the die center. Small off-center, $50, $150. Large off-center with full date, $300, $800 plus. The rim appears wide, flat, and unrestrained by the collar. These can sell for $50 to $100. These eye-catching errors can bring $200, $1,500, depending on severity. One side shows exposed copper. These mistakes often sell for $150 for $100 plus. A 1983D accidentally struck on a quarter or foreign planchet would be a major rarity worth $1,000, $5,000 plus. If your coin looks strange, check it carefully. Errors bring real premiums. Although 1983D has no major varieties like double dies officially recognized, keep an eye out for. If you see doubling on Liberty, the date, or In God We Trust, get the coin examined. Raised blobs of metal near the rim are valuable error types. 1983 coins sometimes show softer strikes. A sharply struck 1983D with crisp hair detail may qualify for a higher grade. Use this list for any Kennedy half dollar. Is it silver? 1964, 90% silver. 1965 to 1970, 40% silver. Silver halves always bring strong premiums. Does it show no wear and strong luster? High-grade modern coins can be surprisingly valuable. Do you see anything unusual? Strange rims, missing clad layers, blank areas, wrong colors, or doubled letters often indicate valuable errors. Does the weight look correct? A normal half dollar weighs 11.34 grams. Errors often deviate compared to known examples. Look up certified high-grade or error examples online. The 1990D Kennedy half dollar is one of the first coins many new collectors encounter. It's common, inexpensive, and easy to find in circulation, in old coin jars, or in inherited collections. But every collector wonders the same thing. Could this coin be worth more than 50 cents? And more importantly, how can you tell if a Kennedy half dollar any year, any mint mark is worth real money? This guide will walk you through the key factors that determine value, focusing on the 1990D while teaching you the rules that apply to the entire Kennedy series. The Denver Mint struck 20,784,170 for Kennedy half dollars in 1990, making it a high mintage, widely circulated issue. Because of this, most 1990D halves are worth only face value in worn condition. Even in uncirculated condition just pulled from a roll, most pieces sell for $1. The only time a 1990D becomes valuable is when it either survives in superb gem condition MS67+, or has a rare mint error. There are no famous double die or major variety types for 1990D yet, so condition and mint mistakes are the primary value drivers. But understanding the 1990D also teaches us the 4 ways any Kennedy half dollar becomes valuable. For modern coins, nothing affects value more than grade. If your 1990D shows wear, soft hair detail, dull luster, or scratches from pocket use, it's worth 50 cents. Circulation destroys collector value. A shiny 1990D from a roll or old mint set is better, but still common. Grades MS60 MS64 usually bring $5. Only a small percentage survive clean enough for these grades. Values may rise to $10, $30. Now, this is where money enters the picture. A 1990D graded MS67 or MS68 can sell for hundreds to a few $1,000s simply because so few coins are perfect enough to qualify. If you want big value from a 1990D, it must be nearly flawless. While the 1990D has no major varieties, error coins from that year can be extremely valuable. The design is pushed to one side, part of the coin is blank. 5 to 10% off-center, $40, $100, 20 to 40% off-center, $150 for $100. 50% plus with full date visible, $800, $1,500 plus. The rim is wide, flat, and lacks the usual reading. These bring $50 to $100. Coins struck twice or struck on top of another planchette can sell for $200, $1,500 plus, depending on appearance. Shows copper core on one side, worth $150, $500 plus. A 1990D struck on a quarter or foreign planchette could be worth $1,000, $10,000 plus. If your coin looks weird, weighs wrong, has odd colors, or shows a partial blank surface, don't spend it. Errors bring real premiums, silver content. Only some Kennedys are silver. The 1990D is not silver. But understanding silver helps you identify valuable older coins. Kennedy halves with silver include 1964, 90% silver. 1965 to 1970, 40% silver. 1976S, 40% silver only in collector sets. 1992 present, silver proofs only San Francisco Mint. If you find a 1964 in great condition, it could be worth $20, $50 plus. If you find a 1964 SMS, that's worth tens of thousands. Key dates, scarce varieties, and rare proof issues. Even though 1990D is common, other Kennedy half dollars can be extremely valuable. Most valuable dates include 1964 SMSE $50,000 $100,000 plus. 1968 NOS proof $10,000 $20,000 plus. 1970D key date valuable in high grade. 1998 Met proof $500 $1,500. 1981 type to proof to $100 to $1,000. Knowing these helps you build a sense of what makes certain halves worth big money. How to check if your 1990D is valuable. Use this simple checklist. Does it have absolutely no wear? If not, it's worth face value. Does it look unusually perfect? Strong luster plus no scratches may mean MS66 plus. Does anything look abnormal? Strange edges, missing letters, blank areas, or double design suggest an error. Weigh it. A normal half dollar weighs 11.34 grams. Anything significantly lighter or heavier could indicate an error or wrong planchette. If your coin resembles a known error or high-grade example, it may be worth grading. When most people think about valuable Kennedy half dollars, their minds jump to the early silver issues from the 1960s, but modern dates like the 1997D Kennedy half dollar can also hide surprising value, if you know exactly what to look for. While a normal 1997D is common and worth only pocket change, rare errors, high-grade condition coins, and unusual striking varieties can turn an ordinary half dollar into a treasure worth hundreds, thousands, or even more. Here's your guide to spotting the ultra-rare Kennedy halves that might be hiding in your change, rolls, or old collections. The Denver Mint produced millions of 1997D Kennedy half dollars, and the vast majority entered circulation. A typical circulated example is worth 50 cents, maybe $1 to collectors who want a complete date set. Even in uncirculated condition, most pieces fall in the $1 $5 range. But like many modern coins, the value changes dramatically under two conditions. A small number of 1997D Kennedy have survived in superb gem condition, showing razor-sharp detail, blazing luster, and no contact marks. These coins are extremely rare because half dollars were not heavily saved in high grade during the late 1990s. A 1997D graded MS68 or MS69 by a top grading service can sell for hundreds to several thousands of dollars because so few exist in that condition. Error coins are where the real money often lies. Mint errors occur when a mechanical or die-related accident happens during coin production. Because the Kennedy half dollar is large and heavy, dramatic mint errors can visually stand out, and collectors love them. A normal 1997D is common. A 1997D with a major error is anything but. Here are the error types that can send the value of a 1997D into the stratosphere. If part of the design is missing because the coin was struck off-center, you may have a valuable collectible. 5 to 15% off-center, $50 $150, 20 to 40% off-center, $150 $600. More than 50% off-center with full date visible, $1,000 plus. Coins struck without the color expand outward, creating a wide, flat rim. A bold broad strike on a Kennedy half dollar can sell for $100 $300, depending on severity. These spectacular errors show to overlapping design impressions. Minor double strike to $100 for $100, dramatic second strike off-center, $500 to $1,500 plus. Although not well documented for 1997D yet, any true double die discovery, especially on Liberty, IGWT, or JFK's profile, could be worth thousands, potentially even five figures, if it becomes a recognized variety. A Kennedy half struck on an incorrect metal disc or missing its top copper-nickel layer is rare and visually striking. Missing clad layer, $300 $1,000 plus. Wrong planchette strike, to $1,000 $10,000 plus. These are the types of discoveries that could bring life-changing money. The 1981P was minted at United States Mint in Philadelphia. Mintage was relatively high, approximately equals 29,544,000 coins. In average circulated condition, it's only worth about face value, roughly US 50 cents $1. Even many uncirculated or mint state MS 1981p coins remain fairly modest. A typical MS coin might be worth just a few dollars. The reason: by 1981 the half dollar no longer had intrinsic silver value, unlike 1964 and earlier Kennedy halves, and 1981 strikes were very numerous. Bottom line, a plain, clean 1981p in typical condition is unlikely to be valuable. It's mainly of interest to collectors wanting full date sets. What elevates a 1981-era coin from common to collector-worthy are either exceptional condition or special varieties, errors. Some of the higher value variants tied to 1981, though many are from the S-proof coins, help illustrate what to hunt for. A top-grade 1981p coin graded MS68 reportedly sold for US $2,990. Proof coins from 1981, especially from 1981S with the rarer Type 2 mint-mark variety, are often much more valuable. For instance, a 1981S Type 2 Deep Cameo graded P or 70 fetched US for $1,025 at auction. Even among business strikes, a 1981p in high-grade MS66, MS67 or better is considered a conditional rarity, i.e. there simply aren't many surviving in that condition. Mint state, gem condition, ideally with full detail, sharp strike, original luster. The higher the grade MS65+, the more premium it can fetch. Official third-party grading, for example by certified services such as PCGS or NGC,